Hello all. In this session, I'm going to talk about Journalctl command, which is used to view and interpret systemd logs. In RHEL 7, as you know, the services are managed by systemd daemon, and in early version of Red RHEL 6 and below, it is managed by init. Managing services using systemd has got several advantages over init, which I would be publishing a separate video on that. In this video, I'll be primarily focusing on journalctl command line utility, which can be used to read, views, and manipulates data, the enormous amount of logs that are held within journals. Now, what is journals, right? So systemd, the journal daemon, which always runs in the machine, which collects the log generated by kernel, init, and various services, right? And stored in a single repository in the single file called journal, and this is in a binary format. So having a data in a binary format has a plenty of advantage as compared to having having data in a text format, like the way it is being managed in RHEL 6 and prior lower version of Linux 6 and below, right? It is in syslog file. So since this is stored in binary format, this can be exported to some other JSON format or some other data manipulation format, and that can be represented in a graphical format for a presentation purpose. So it has got various advantages, and since it is a binary format, it cannot read this data by using uh, common file manipulation utility like cat, vi, or any other edit, right? So it can be read only by journalctl. So right. So let me log into one of the box to show you some cool command line syntax. Okay, I have a session open. This is my test machine. So here I was talking about a daemon, right? Which actually captures the log generated by various services, kernel, init, and services, right? And stored in a binary format. The service name is system ctl hyphen list hyphen unit hyphen t services t service grep for journal D. Sorry, I need missed S, right? So this is the service which responsible for collecting the logs. Now, now the utility I was talking about, so it just stored that information log file in a journal file. Now, journalctl is the command line utility which can be used to read that information. Now, if you just run journalctl, it is going to show you all the logs that has been generated since the last uh, mm, s- since system was up and running, system was built, right? So October 16, right? Since October 16, all the logs it is showing. Now, it's a huge information you'll be having in that binary form. I'll just run this information. If you want to read this information, it will be very tedious. You cannot read all the information. So since I said, since it is a binary format, you can actually pass lot various parameters to journalctl, various argument to journalctl to get the right information. Right now, so for example, I want to see all the logs that has been generated since yesterday. Journalctl since yesterday, right? So you see this, all the logs that has been generated from January 25, today is 26th, right? I want to see all the logs that got generated since today, right? So it was down, so I put the system at 139. So it is showing all the logs that got generated after 139, right? So there is another thing I want to show you. Another thing, I want to see all the logs for a specific duration, like since 09 until 1 hour ago. Okay, I need to put it in a quote. Okay, so since 9, so system was down at 9, so it is showing the same logs at 1:13. So I want to see all the logs which are generated by a specific process. Journalctl-u sssd dot service. So look at this. It just show you all the logs generated by this specific service. So actually this is the same. It is not an individual file that got generated for this SS service. It is reading from that binary data, right? I was talking about. It's a single file binary which has actually stored all these logs. You are reading the those information, reading this information from that journalctl file, right? I want to see all the logs generated by a specific process. So I was just checking that postfix journalctl underscore PID. Okay, okay. There is no much entry. It's just the demo started message. So there is no issue with the service. It is up and running, right? So there are many other features, right? There are many other features. You can give some from to date. If you want to extract information from a specific time to specific between a specific time, that you can do. Now, I want to show something, like in earlier version, what you do to check the live logs, you use tel command -f, right? Now here also is the same thing. We have journalctl -f. So here you can check the live logs, right? You want to check, you want to read last 10 lines, last 100 lines of journalctl file logs. You can do that as well. And you can read only kernel related logs. As you know, uh, in Linux, the kernel related logs are kept in kernel buffer, kernel ring buffer, which can be read using dmessage command, right? So the same informations you can get it by journalctl-k, right? It's the same output that you get it from dmessage. Also, you can pass dmessage, I think, journalctl, right? This is the other way of doing it. So, as I said, it's a very powerful tool which can be used, which can be used to troubleshoot any issues, right? And the faster it with the logs, faster, that helps you in troubleshooting an issue faster, right? So I hope you like this video. If you really like this video, click on the like button and subscribe to this channel for upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching.